days now, we have been relentlessly campaigning for justice for Kashmiri Hindus, but those investigations have exposed some parties who, after a sustained campaign to bury the truth over the last 32 years, are now on a spree to black out the film itself, the film that is finally giving a voice to a community which found itself marginalized. Every time they spoke up, they were told that they were hate-mongers, that they were trying to ghettoize and demonize Muslims in Kashmir in particular, and in India in general. Today, when people are going to watch the film and are effusive in their praise, suddenly some politicians have woken up and are asking, why not show the full picture? Why not show the other side? Interestingly, it is these same parties, if not the same politicians, who earlier, when there were other episodes of violence, never spoke of another side. They said, this is the BJP's vision of Hindu Rashtra. This is an Islamophobic country. This is the example of how one community is systematically being targeted. When there were the Godhara Riots, the Gujarat Riots, films which told one side were supposed to be gospel. But in Kashmir Files, suddenly, not only is there a browbeating, but a demand that the other side be told.
जैसे कि उसके हीरो कृष्णा खुद ही कहते हैं कि बौद्धिस्टों को भी मारा गया है, सिखों को भी मारा गया है और मुस्लिम को भी मारा गया है, तो वो चीज़ें तो नहीं दिखाई गई। देखने के बाद बता रहे हैं कि पिक्चर आधी अधूरी है, पूरी सच नहीं बताई गई है और उसका समाधान कुछ नहीं है। और ऐसे पिक्चर जिसमें समाधान नहीं है, उस दिशा में कोई प्रयास नहीं है, कोई संदेश नहीं देने की कोशिश, केवल हिंसा दिखाने की कोशिश है, मैं नहीं समझता इसका कोई औचित्य है।
ये बात भी तो पूछनी चाहिए कि जो आज इस फिल्म के द्वारा एक राजनीति कर रहे हैं इस पूरे मसले पर, उन्होंने क्या किया इसका सकारात्मक? आपने 370 आया, ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, 370 ऐसे भी मर सा गया था। उसके बाद क्या पिछले 2-2.5 साल में वहाँ आप लोगों को वापस भेज पाए हैं कि नहीं? क्या जिस तरीके से उनको एक सहायता मिलती है वो मिलती है कि नहीं?
Militants had done that. We have condemned that. Targeting Congress for something that was done during the time when Mr. VP Singh was the Prime Minister and BJP was supporting his government, and when Mr. Jagmohan Singh was the governor, is something which is very absurd.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Tuhin Sinha, spokesperson of the BJP, continues with us. We are joined by V. Purushottam Rao, retired DIG of the CRPF. Manasvi Thapar continues with us. We are joined by Gokul Chandran, political analyst. Why is it that suddenly this film is being called half-baked and incomplete? Because it's telling the stories in detail of one community. This is about the Pandits. What else is it supposed to speak of?
Yeah, Padmaja, good evening, Padmaja. Why it is half-baked? Because it is not showing the full picture. It is showing one side of the story. It might be a fiction. You agree it is a fiction and go ahead with the movie, all fine. But when you say this is what has happened, and when the government backs the movie, when RSS backs the movie...
What is the other side, sir? What was the other side that Schindler's List showed? Did they say, you know, Hitler also had some problems and Hitler, you know, wasn't entirely happy because of X reason? So let's now, you know, also show the other side. Hitler wasn't a bad guy. So let's show the other side of Schindler's List.
We'll not compare Schindler's List and this Kashmir Files.
What?
Okay.
Because, you may find it amusing, sir, but people died. People died in both cases. And they were minorities.
See, people died in Kashmir, not only this Kashmir Pandits. That's what I was repeatedly telling in your show in last time also.
Sir, I am asking you a simple question, right? You say Kashmir Files is half-baked. Please tell me which movie made on the Holocaust showed the other side and said that prison guard in Auschwitz was was a nice person.
Yeah.
He wasn't a bad guy. He also had problems.
Yeah, Padmaja, so you agree that only one side of the movie shown. You yourself is.
I agree to no such thing, sir. All I'm saying is when I am making a story about one issue, I will talk about it. What is the other side to a genocide?
See, genocide is not only happened with Kashmiri Pandits in Kashmir. It has happened with all communities, Dalit, other Muslims, Hindus, everybody has undergone
Dalits are also
this.
Hindus. We're talking not just about Pandits, we're talking about Kashmiri Hindus. Why are you making these divisions?
Because
they are all Kashmiri Hindus. Kashmiri Dalits were also Hindus. Kashmiri Pandits were also Hindus. We're talking about Kashmiri Hindus.
I don't know if they still treat them, Dalits, as Hindus. I'm not sure.
Sir, don't worry about that. The only people who did not treat Dalits alike, by the way. Anyway, I don't want to go into the background, but you may not be aware that Article 370 did not allow Dalits to get any government job other than a sweeper. So if you really want to talk about who treated Dalits as subhuman, let's not go back into that history. Now you tell me, sir, tell me straight away, what is the other side to a genocide? When you are making a film on the Nirbhaya rape case, do you also tell the other side and say, oh, that bus driver Ram Singh, let me tell his point of view? Did you?
Okay, Padmaja, you were talking about the Gujarat riots and the movies made on them also.
Sir, do not dodge around. I am asking you a straight question. When a film was made on the Delhi rape case, when a film was made on the Holocaust, what was the other side? What was the other side?
Did the movie show the Prime Minister of the nation at that time, Mr. VP Singh, was backed by the same
Why are you dodging my question? What was the other side to a Holocaust?
When you make the movie,
what was the other side to a Holocaust? What is the other side to rape? Kashmiri women were raped and killed, and they are shown being raped and killed. What other side do you want the filmmaker to show? That all the rapists and murderers also had a personal problem.
Yeah, this movie, Kashmiri Lies, never mentioned who was behind the crime and what happened exactly. Mr. VP Singh was the Prime Minister. Did the movie say anything about Mr. VP Singh? BJP supported VP Singh. RSS supported VP Singh. Then
this is not about the politics. The film is about the personal agony of Kashmiri Hindus. Why should somebody be forced, because it makes you uncomfortable, to not talk about personal histories and go into whataboutery and say, oh, but Jagmohan was also there. Oh, but this also happened. That day it was raining also. It became very cold also. Why?
No.
It is about first-hand accounts where 50 people are saying this happened to us. And it's the brutal, unvarnished truth.
What are you running on your screen? You are talking about Congress and Narasimha Rao government. That is what is running on your screen, and you're telling me don't talk politics. You cannot take politics out of Kashmir issue.
I am saying, why should this film have to do things to make you comfortable watching it? This film has said, I am going to talk about what happened to Kashmiri Hindus, and I am going to do no lallo chappo about it. I am going to be straight, and I am going to say they picked him up, they took him, and they killed him, and they broke his bones, and they hung his body from a tree, and it happened. Are you contesting it? This is not contested history. This is documented history. So, why should people sugarcoat it?
Is the movie, Padmaja, is the movie mentioning Farooq Abdullah?
Why should it mention Farooq Abdullah? It will mention the history of individuals.
Because it is mentioned, if the movie can mention about Farooq Abdullah, why can't it talk about VP Singh and the
because
BJP
it will make
supported
all right, just a second. Tuhin Sinha, respond to that. For a holistic view, so that Mr. Chandran is happier, everything should have been mentioned to make it contextual.
And allow me some time.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'll mention everything which probably the movie does not mention. See, I will tell you why the Congress is feeling so jittery and so uncomfortable. Because a movie as candid and as in your face like Kashmir Files is bound to finally demand political accountability, which so far, was not demanded for some reason or the other. And mind you, the build-up to 1990 genocide began in 1984 with Indira Gandhi dethroning Farooq Abdullah with a very corrupt person, his own brother-in-law called G.M. Shah. The same Farooq Abdullah who in 1982 was a little more aligned to being with India than his father, suddenly, please allow me to complete, suddenly started brazenly flirting with Pakistan and encouraging subversive activities. And then in 1986, suddenly Rajiv Gandhi, gets into into a very shady arrangement with Farooq Abdullah, which was responsible for completely rigging the polls. And that MUL, Muslim United League, which until then was only a hardcore fundamentalist organization, overnight picked up guns. So yes, Farooq Abdullah is at the core of everything, but equally the unceremonious dumping of Farooq Abdullah by Indira Gandhi was the trigger. So this is what makes the Congress so uncomfortable. This is what makes them so jittery, that history, and this is what the half-said part, which actually should have been shown, or which should have been mentioned somewhere.
Gokul Chandran.
Yeah, see, you cannot compare a internal scuffle, internal religious issue with a cross-border terrorism.
Religious
you cannot talk
scuffle?
about this.
Sir, it's not like somebody was driving their car and their cars hit each other and they slapped each other. This is not a scuffle. When people get sawed into half, I would hazard a guess that it has gone beyond a scuffle.
Yeah, Padmaja,
when 300 documented murders have happened and several more undocumented murders have taken place, it is not a scuffle.
Padmaja, I am your guest. At least give that respect here.
Don't call it scuffle. I'm not your yard. It is not a scuffle.
I am not.
Don't demean people's suffering by calling it a scuffle. Go on.
Listen. What I am telling is the point he made, that right from 1984 this is happening. I am refuting that. When did the Pakistan enter?
Okay. I really can't. We have gone on about this ad nauseum.
Yeah.
I just recommend everyone watching right now, and especially you, Mr. Gokul Chandran, please go back, read 2 books, The Frozen Turbulence of Jagmohan Ji and Rahul Pandita's Our Moon Has Blood Clots. Read these 2 books. It makes it very clear. It documents what the sequence of events was, how it started in 84. Sir, you have had the Anantnag riots happening in 85, where the houses and establishments of Hindus in Anantnag were burned to the ground. In 89, people were killed. But I really cannot keep going over it ad nauseum. Let me please bring in just a second Mr. Purushottam Rao, because he has been a DIG of the CRPF. Sir, what did you see? Because at this point we are being told this is a half-baked half-truth which is being served up politically. Is this half-baked half-truth? What did you see?
Well, good evening, Padmaja. It is not half-baked half-truth, which is full, 100% truth, including the dialogues that have been put into the film. And at that time, when this happened, I was in the Ministry of Home Affairs control room as in charge of the control room. Whatever was happening was coming to us, and we used to log it in the logbook. And nothing happened. And nothing happened. The reason we have been discussing, people have been discussing, people have been talking. I don't like people saying that that time BJP was there, why BJP has not done this, why so-and-so has not done this. But the real fact is that so much of massacre, genocide has taken place. And why are we shirking our responsibility? Accept it. So many inquiries have taken place. So many inquiries have revealed the truth. Today, the truth has come out. There was no inquiry. Why? I don't belong to any political party, for information. For 50 years back, I joined the service, and we have been loyal to the government, loyal to the nation, first of all. So my point is that let us know the truth. We know the truth. If we do not know the truth, somebody has to take out the truth. So many inquiries have taken place.
You saw the unvarnished truth firsthand. When the distress calls were coming, after a point, what was the response of the government?
Nothing. Zero. I will say that. Because the facts were revealed, the facts were put on paper. It definitely has gone. But you see, I was in the Home Ministry control room, but above me, the levels are there. At some point of time, the person who can give a decision did not take any action. That is the reason.
And since you were in the CRPF in service at that time, what do you say to people who say that once Jagmohan became governor, that's when the exodus started, that's when the violence started?
No. See, I was also the Deputy Director General for Radio and TV. And I happened to go because the whole country was under me to Kashmir. Because I was staying there with my batchmates or somewhere. General Jackie was there, Jagmohan's advisor. Jagmohan ji, we used to meet, and it had happened before that. All this happened before Jagmohan was sent back again there. And at that time, Sheikh Farooq Abdullah, he left, he was not here. And there was nobody. And they had taken the law into their hands and they massacred people and all this. We saw those houses that were burnt. We met people and who could explain us, tell us in detail what all happened. So if somebody says it is cooked up, that man is cooking up.
So here you've heard the truth from somebody who is not a politician, can't be called a propagandist, is first-hand telling you of what he saw of the security situation, Manasvi Thapar. Why this effort to keep shaming the people who have been victim shamed as it is for 32 years? You are muted, Manasvi Thapar.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go on. Yes.
Yeah. So I think it's even more shameful. My basic moot question to the BJP spokesperson is, I am particularly a fan of freedom of expression speech. So my basic question is, when a movie which is based on truth fact is shown to the people and the entire country is moved by the facts which are shown by the movie, why did in 2005 we had a movie known as Chand Bujh Gaya was banned, Fana was in Gujarat unofficially banned, Farzania in 2007 was banned in Gujarat, in 2009 Firak was banned. So these were also expressions which may not be completely in alignment to your thought of ideas, but why were they officially and unofficially banned? So let in India free-flowing of various ideas be shown to the people.
Okay, Mr. Rao. Mr. Rao wants to respond. Mr. Rao wants to respond.
What this gentleman is saying is not a truth, which has not actually happened. This picture is showing what actually happened. They were fictions, what he's referring to.
Come on.
There's a lot of difference between the...
Padmaja, now I can judge Mr.
Gokul
Rao.
Chandran.
Yeah, I can judge Mr. Rao. He jumping into defense of one movie, Kashmir Lies. When the gentleman
you're deliberately calling the film Kashmir Lies because you want to get that 10-second clip for Twitter. It will get you 5 additional retweets, maybe 10 followers. Don't do this, sir. People are hugely emotionally invested in this film. It is their life, their story. Don't do this. Don't do this. This is cheap. Don't do it. Don't do it, Mr. Chandran. No, this is cheap. Don't do it. Please do not do it.
No, it's not.
You may find it funny. You may find it great social media traction. Don't do it.
No, I don't require anything. I don't require anything.
Okay, last 30 seconds to Hinsena. Please don't do it.
Padmaja, one of the reasons...
This is not okay.
Padmaja, one of the reasons... one of the reasons why the Congress ecosystem is so flustered today, because sadly Bollywood had been a very able ally for them in whitewashing many of the crimes of the last 100 years. But today it is Bollywood which is leading the resurgence, which is coming out and showing the mirror to the Congress ecosystem, and that is what they can't fathom. That is what is really making them jittery about their future.
All right, I'm going to leave it at that. That being said, no movie should be banned, no books should be banned until the time that they give a direct call to violence. Till there is no rule being broken, yes, let there be many files that should be opened in the country. Let the people decide. But if you're going to target only one work of art, one film saying, oh, this is only telling me one side. Well, maybe because pain and suffering has only one side. And it's a good thing that it's finally being told. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, for having joined me. For all our viewers, have a good Holi.